What is up, my friends, men and women of the portfolio? Welcome. I think this is the first one I've done all year for you guys or girls. Maybe it's the second one. Oh, we did some when we were drafting. That's right. Snake was on. Brock was on. Welcome. Yeah, let's go over. Sorry, I didn't do a lot of them this year because I don't think you guys watched them last year. So they usually take a lot of work to do, but this one's a little easier um, because a lot of teams are eliminated, right? So we're kind of going into the playoffs here. But let's do a recap, a breakdown of how we look so far, and get into it. Be about 20 minutes. So get excited about some of these teams. All right, let's share the screen here. All right, so here is Kentucky. So we did 4 Kentucky leagues, 4 big paybacks this year. We usually do 5, but they only had 4 this year. So we did all 4. So if you remember in years past, this has kind of been our bread and butter. We've done really well on these. Last year we went 0 for 5. We didn't make the playoffs in 1 league, which is almost impossible to do. You have to be really bad and really unlucky. We figured out how to do it. This year went 2 for 4, made the playoffs in 2 leagues, and we are the highest scoring team in 1 league. League 4, big payback 4 here. We're the highest scoring team, which means we made our first $2,000 guaranteed. So congratulations. We didn't lose at all. Good news. $2,000 coming in. But this is the type of season that we've had. And I always say this. You guys who talk to me every week, Nate, Sam, Chris, whatever, Wagenbaugh, Vaso, it's just there's so much luck involved. Lance, you know, we had 1,500 points, the most in the entire league. Okay, so the most points and best record get paid for the regular season for this 2,000 for each. We had 1,500 points and we went 6-5, like impossible, right? But we figured it out. That's all right. We got $2,000 coming our way and we got in. So that's really cool. So what this is now, this is a 5-week race. So it's 5 weeks starting this week. The team with the most points gets $5,000, and the team with the second most points gets $2,000. So we can max out at $7,000 for this league. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. Let me double check while I got you guys on the line here. Yes. So we already made 2,000. We can make a total of 7,000 with this league. 2 years ago, we won we made like $15,000 or $16,000 in Kentucky. So overall, we've crushed. So, okay, let's take a look at this team, the highest scoring team. We got waivers still going on. All right. Jaden Daniels. So we got guys on a bye this week. So I'll just start with this week's lineup. Jaden Daniels, Antonio Gibson, I know. Aaron Jones, Sutton, Tillman, awesome. Neighbors is back. Dallas Goedert and Big Daddy Otten is going to play in the flex for us this week. I'm putting in a bid claim for a defense here. Boswell, the number 1 fantasy kicker. He's been amazing, averaging 13 a week. On our bench, Breece Hall, Isaiah Pacheco. This is a big one. Like if we can get him back in a week or two, that would be a nice little stretch run running back to have because our running backs aren't the strongest. Breece Hall, Pacheco, T. Higgins, stud, Brian Thomas, Lawrence will be back, so I think that'll help him. Hunter Henry's a top 10 tight end. So we got some depth. We've got some depth to go along with our starters. This team will be there in the end. We have 5 weeks, most points. Just be consistent every week. We should be good here. And you start to, just to let you know, you start with your league average. So if you see here, that's a week's worth of points, right? So we start with a 2-point lead over second, and we start with it was super tight. Look at this. We start with our average points. So we're only 7 points up on the last place team, the 5th place team, sorry. 6th place team. So it's going to be a race. It's going to be a tight race. Stay healthy. Our team is pretty healthy. And I'm going to go through these teams, guys. I don't know. I won't remember every team and who they've lost. I'm sure we've lost guys to injury. Rashee Rice, Godwin, we had everywhere. So these teams might look light, but that's because they've lost guys to injury. So that's our first team. Our second team that made the playoffs is Portfolio 1. Again, made the playoffs with 1,441 points. Went 5-6, losing record, but we made the playoffs on points because that's just how it is. 1441. We barely made it here. This was the one where I said, hey, we're rooting against Rico Dowdle. We needed him to not score 23. If he scores 23, we don't make it in. So we got in. How these leagues go, record, points, points. So really, as long as you're scoring okay, you really should make the playoffs. All right, let's take a look at this team. Same things apply. All right, Darnold, Gibson again, because we have guys on a bye. Gibbs, Pickens, Sutton, DJ Moore, Njoku, Adunze. On our bench, let's see what we have on our bench here. We've got Bijan Robinson on the bench, Khalil Shakir on the bench. Deontay Johnson's been a horrible bad beat. I mean, he was going to be really good, and then he got traded, and they don't use him. And then Freiermuth. So this team isn't super strong, but again, you can ride Bijan Gibbs, right? Gibbs, Bijan, let them go for 25 a game, and then let everyone else kind of fill in the blanks. I'll probably end up picking up a quarterback here. But yeah, again, if we could just come in second place, get our $2,000 and get out. But we have 5 weeks to just kind of be consistent and get there. So these are our 2 Kentucky teams that made it in. All right, let's move on to the FFPC. I will pull that up here in a second. Share this tab. Okay. FFPC, here's what we got going on here. All right. 3K auction. Let me zoom in. There we go. Okay. So our 3K auction. I know this is your first time seeing all this stuff this year. These are scores from last week on the right-hand side. All right. We have comments. Sorry, I missed those. What's up, Jose? Henry over Dallas. Miami can't guard the tight end. Should eat. Yeah, we haven't really got Chris. We haven't gone through these yet. These lineups yet. Waivers run tonight, and then we'll go through them tomorrow morning. Me, Sam, and Nate go through the lineups Thursday, primarily for the Thursday night games, and then over the weekend we go through the Sunday stuff. We'll dig into all that stuff for sure. Henry could certainly be an option this week. Okay, 3K auction. Shout out to Sam who drafted this, who kind of took I gave him the reins on this. He did really well. This was again, we haven't talked about a lot about the show. I'm going to go back to the draft live in Vegas, which, by the way, you guys all have to come to Vegas. It's insane. Half the portfolio goes, and everyone should get out there. It's an unbelievable time. That's why I was going to continue to do this portfolio because it's just so fun. It was just an excuse to get out there. But Sam, so we do so many drafts in Vegas. I can't be at all the drafts. So Sam does some. Nate does some. Joel helps out when he's there. Chris helps out as well. Chris Wagenbaugh. So this is one where I was double booked, and Sam is good at auctions. So I let Sam have this. He did really well. So this was a scrubs and stars and scrubs approach. He went heavy stars and then kind of filled in the gaps there. So he went Saquon, and I was there most of the time. So it was but Sam really, this was Sam's baby. So he went Saquon Barkley, Breece Hall, CeeDee Lamb. Spent big up on 3 guys. They've stayed healthy. They've been great. And then we filled in the gaps with guys like K. Dotton. Dobbins was a nice cheap guy for us. McConkey's hit here and there. Cedric Tillman. Tyler Lockett, Hawkinson, Goddard. So we can start 3 tight ends, guys. Otten, Hawkinson, Goddard, and tight end premium. So the Kentucky's not tight end premium. This is tight end premium. Jose knows all about that. And so we've got this team's deep. It's good. And here's how this one works. So we started slow. This is victory points, guys. So the grand prize for this is, I think, $20,000 to first. Okay. And so this is victory points. So if you win, you get 2 points. If you finish in the top 4 in scoring, you get 2 points. If you finish 5 to 8, you get 1 point. 9 to 12, you get no points, and losses are no points. So the most you can get every week is 4 for top 4 in points and a win. So we had back-to-back weeks in the middle of the season where we lost by a total of 3 points total over 2 weeks and didn't score a ton and got 0 victory points. We fought back from that, and we are up to 3rd place now, okay? 1st and 2nd place going into the playoffs get their money back. So we would get $3,000 back just from being in 1st or 2nd place. So that's huge. And so we are 2 victory points out of second and 4 victory points out of first. This regular season runs up until week 14. So we still have week 12 and week 13. So we're going into week 12. Yeah. Week 12 and week 13. We have 2 more regular season weeks to catch up on those guys. And so even if we don't, it's fine. We'll make the playoffs and we'll go in there and we'll fight. And how that works is if 6 teams make the playoffs, the bottom 4 teams play each other total points for 1 week. The top 2 total points teams move on and they play the 1 seed and the 2 seed total points for 2 weeks. And then they pay out from there. So you really want to be a top 2 seed. You don't have to play in that first round, come in 3rd or 4th, and then you're done. So we really want to get one of those top 2 seeds as well. But anyways, this team looks really good. Sam's done a great job managing this guy. Brock Purdy and Darnold, they're fine. Barkley, Dobbins, Lamb, Moore, Otten, McConkey, Tillman. This team's super deep. Like I said, Breece Hall backed up with Braylon Allen, so we got that locked down. Goddard, Hawkinson for flexes or for the starting tight end spot. This team's deep. I would love to get that 1 or 2 seed just to get on to that next round automatically. Because this could be $20,000 or more for us guys. So this is a big one. All right, what else? This other 3K here, the 3K varsity, this one's total points. So this one's been wild, guys. We are in 8th, 9th, 10th. We are in 8th place. So if you look, the difference between 8th and 3rd is 80 points. Okay. Like 2 weeks ago, we were in 11th. The difference between 11th and 3rd was like 60 points. And so we've just been scoring. We scored top 4 or 5 last week, top 4 or 5 the week before. We're slowly moving up. First place is probably out of reach. So this runs all the way through the end of this season. Total points, whole season. So we have a bunch of weeks left. But first is probably out of reach. We're 180 points back at first. That's probably out of reach. Second's probably out of reach at 120 points out. But 3rd place money, which is, I think, $5,000 or $6,000. Let me actually see if I can find it here while we're talking. That is certainly within reach. So I think we can at least get our money back. Yeah, $3,000. So we would get our money back. $20,000, $8,500, $3,000. So I think we can definitely get our money back. We're, what did I say we were? 3rd place is 1,532. We are 1,464. So yeah, we're like 80 points back. And let's take a look at our team here. Again, this is a team that we lost some guys on, but Jaden Daniels, Dobbins, and Javonte, a lot rides on these 2 guys. They had a great week last week. If they can continue to be the horses there, I like the team. We had Puka out for a while, guy. You guys know that. Devonta Smith, Big Daddy Otten's been awesome. Cortland Sutton, Hunter Henry, Rashad White on the bench. He's been hit and miss. Drake London, Brian Thomas, Gabe Davis, who we're going to throw on the IR. Evan Ingram was hurt for forever too. He's been really good when he's played. So again, we've got some guys there. A lot of bye weeks this week with London and Thomas and all that. But we'll probably end up sliding Rashad White in somewhere here, probably over Hunter Henry, maybe. I don't know. Chris really likes Henry this week. So yeah, this team's got some depth. It's got some opportunity. We're a 200-point week away from being right in the mix for 3rd. So, and we've got the horses that can do it. So I think what we do is we just keep plugging away, keep grinding waivers. But we got the depth. We got to kind of hold on for our life this week with all these bye weeks and hope that we can figure it out. But we got some decent matchups. We have some tough ones too. Sutton against the Raiders is tough. Otten against the Giants is tough. Puka against Philly is tough. But I think we'll figure it out. All right. The 5K. The 5K we are live in as well. I'm only doing the teams that we're live in, guys, because there's no use. I need to talk about the rest of them. All right. The 5K has been kind of hitting. We started slow, got hot, and then we've kind of been slow again. We're not in the playoffs currently, but again, this is victory points. So here's how it goes. It's 6th. We are 3 points out of 6th place, but each division winner automatically makes the playoffs. So even if we pass OG Sleepers in victory points, he would get in over us because he's in a different division. I know, kind of corny. So we really need to pass the 5th seed. They are 4 points ahead of us with 2 weeks left. So this week is gigantic. We have to get at least 2 points, preferably 4. 3 would be okay, but we need to get points this week. So let's see the team. Stafford, Henry, Ramondre, Harrison, Waddle, who probably bench. Waddle's almost unstartable unless we're shooting for that high upside week. K-Dot and Javonte Williams, Romeo Dobbs, who's on our bench. We've been sitting on Jonathan Brooks for freaking 11 weeks. And the bench is Garrett Wilson on a bye this week. Odunze, Pearsall, Elijah Moore. He's been kind of good. Andrews again started slow, has been really good. So we got some stuff we got to figure out this week. We got to kind of shoot for the moon. Team's not bad. Team seems fairly healthy, but we got to have a big week this week. We've got some good matchups. We got to get a bunch of points. Let's see who we're playing. League. We are playing Cocktails and Dreams. So that sucks. He's the 2 seed. Let's see who he has on a bye. He's got Olave, Pitts, James Cook, Chase Brown, and Drake London. Wow, we lucked out. He's got a all-star team on bye. Mike Gesicki. So he's starting Leggett. He's starting Alec Pierce. And he's still missing some starters in here, too. He doesn't have a starting tight end yet. Deontay Johnson stinks. Yeah, I mean, we could definitely beat him. I mean, our team's better than his. So, and he's in second place, so we can catch him. Not that we'll really catch. I agree, Chris. Easy dub here. Easy dub. This guy's team is not good. Okay, so that's what we need, guys, out of that. Let's go back to our teams here. So you can see we have a million teams. I want to look at right now. We are in the playoffs, so we got kind of some good news and bad news here. Good news is, so those are our main events here. Main events are these next 4 teams here, and this is the million. This tournament is $1 million here, right? So good news is we are in this main event here. We are 8-3, and we're automatically in the playoffs right now. So this is the final regular season week. This week, we are the 3 seed. The top 4 seeds make it. It goes record points. So right now, based on how it lays out, our record is going to get us in no matter what happens this week. So the good news is we are in the league playoffs. The bad news is the top 2 seeds from each league automatically advance to the next round, the 3-week race for $1 million. The top 2 seeds make it onto that regardless. But in the league playoffs, if you are the 3 seed or the 4 seed, which would be us, we need to win our league playoffs to advance to that round to fight for $1 million. So we will be the 3 seed. We're going to have to win 2 games to get into that fight for $1 million. Now, we can still win league money. If we win our first round game, we're playing for $4,000, and there's still money to be made, but we really wanted to get that 1 or 2 seed. Didn't happen, so we have to fight for it. The other bad news is this team kind of stinks. Like, we got lucky. So if you look, we have 1,396 points. We are one of the lowest scoring teams in the entire league. We are like second or third to lowest. We just got lucky. And so it's nice to be in there. We can get hot, but like, we have teams that are way better than this team that didn't make it, which sucks. So if you go look at this team, I probably had injuries too. Like, I'm trying to remember this is a Puka Nacua. Who was our other pick? Did we lose our first or second round pick? Oh, Garrett Wilson. This is a Puka Nacua Garrett Wilson team. Okay, Puka was hurt for most of the year, which does take away from our overall point total, which, we are a little bit better than our points suggest. But it's Puka, it's Garrett Wilson on a bye, which doesn't hurt us because, again, we don't need to win this week. This week doesn't even matter. Gesicki on a bye. It's Pickens, who's been really good. Zay Flowers, Pitts on a bye, which doesn't hurt us. And the problem is, guys, our RB2 is terrible. Like, Raheem Mostert has a total of like negative 0.2 points combined the last 2 weeks, 0 and minus 0.2. And we don't have another run. I mean, Charbonnet's in a timeshare. Jalen Wright is a backup. Michael Hasty, backup timeshare. Blake Corum, Kyrie Williams refuses to miss a snap, miss a down ever. Guy's been hurt his whole life. We have Blake Corum on the bench on every freaking team waiting for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. So right now, our RB2, I think I'm trying to pick up anything, any type of depth we can get. I'm picking up kickers and defenses for the playoffs. So we're going to have to start one of the probably Charbonnet and hope for Jalen Wright or something, and hope for a lucky touchdown or something. But the problem is our receivers are great. Between Pickens, Flowers, Puka, and Garrett Wilson, they're good. Pitts and Gesicki, we figured out at tight end. It's just, and Stevenson's been okay. He's a top 20 back, fantasy wise, but we just don't have that RB2. We need an injury to really help out there. So even if, I'd be happy to win round one and just make a couple $1,000 and get out of here with this team. Okay. So for another example, what I was saying is, so this team has 1,396. We have a team with 1,471 that's in 7th and probably not going to make it. I mean, this team is Gibbs, Daniels, Stevenson, Evans, who was hurt forever. This was a Chris Godwin team because Nate drafted it, did a really good job. He took Gibbs and Garrett Wilson and then got Evans and Godwin. But still, Tillman, Eckler's been kind of good for us here and there. Garrett Wilson, Amari Cooper, we got unlucky. He gets traded to the Bills, gets hurt, hasn't really done much. Could be something down the stretch. This team got in. Kyle Pitts also on this team. So let's go look. I think we have a shot. We don't have a shot. This team's dead. Sorry, I wasted your time on that. But just to show you an example of how you get lucky. This team's alive. So this team's 7-4. If we win, so we're not in on points, but we can get in on points and we can get in on record. So we need to win and score a bunch of points, and maybe we'll be the 4 seed on points because we're only 30 points back on points. Or we can get a win and maybe one of the teams in front of us loses and we can leapfrog them. So this team's live. This team is, my God, so 3 of 3 quarterbacks. Cousins on a bye. Daniel Jones is getting cut. So, and we have Jameis Winston, but of course Winston has the matchup with the best fantasy defense in football for quarterbacks. Sorry, the worst one in Pittsburgh. So that sucks. But this was a Saquon Barkley. This was actually a Rashee Rice team, guys. This was a Saquon Barkley, Rashee Rice, Travis Kelce team. I drafted this after the Friday night game. So anyways, Barkley's been awesome. Wright's been In Jigba, McLaurin, Kelce. Again, we should have had Rashee Rice. Watson and Andrews. I just threw in Watson today. Brian Thomas, Ricky Pearsall. So again, this team isn't great. Probably won't do a lot of damage if it gets in, but has a shot to make a couple bucks if we can just get into the freaking playoffs here. Rashee Rice really, really killed us. And this might even be a Godwin team too, for all I know. Okay. So those are like the big teams for these two sites. And then, so down here, these fantasy portfolio 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all these, we did 15 of them. Okay. These are mid stakes, $350 to get in, $1 million prize up top. We want to chase that $1 million prize. That's the fun part. We have some bangers in this. So if you see this line here is what seed we are so far. Again, last week of the regular season for this. Okay. So a 1 seed, a 2 seed, a 1 seed, a 1 seed, 4 seed, 4 seed, 5. A lot of these teams we're probably going to get 8 teams of our 15 into the playoffs, which is really good considering only 4 teams make it from each. We've got some bangers. So let's go look at the see which one has the most points. 1587. Look at this, guys. This is our season. Ready? Our highest scoring team in all of these has 1592, 1,592 points. It's 4-7. It's in the playoffs on points, but it's 4-7. That's the most points that we have on any of our teams. 1592. It's second in the league in scoring, and it's 4-7. Because if you look at points against, first place has given up 1,100. We've given up almost 1,500. Who cares? We're in the playoffs, fine, but whatever. Let's take a look at this squad. All right. Jaden Daniels, Derrick Henry, David Montgomery, Pickens, Tillman, Tucker, Odunze, Henry. I know we got guys on the bench. Bijan on the bench. Kincaid on the bench. Pearsall. Gus out. So it's not super. Oh, Darnell Mooney. But guys, Darnell Mooney's a top 10 fantasy receiver this year. Who would have thought? He's 9th overall. So you slide these guys in, make it look pretty. Derrick Henry, Bijan Robinson, David Montgomery, Pickens, Tillman when he's cooking, or Darnell Mooney, or Dalton Kincaid if he can get rolling when he gets back. This team has a chance to make a ton of money. This could be a team that can compete for $1 million. What else do we have? What other really good teams do we have in this? We have a 9-2 team with 1567. This team's got 1580. Again, 1587, 6-5. Like, what is happening? 1587, second highest scoring team in the whole thing, 6-5, naturally. All right, let's look at this team. Jaden Daniels, Derrick Henry, David Montgomery again. It's almost the same team and crazy. CeeDee Lamb, Pickens, Goddard, Tillman, Andrews. Remember, tight end premium. So tight ends are way more valuable. T. Higgins, love it. Freiermuth's been hit and miss. Jonathan Brooks, if he becomes a thing, throw him in there. So we've got some bangers that are going to get through in this. The problem, or the unfortunate part about this tournament, is that there's going to be thousands of teams in this, right? So, like, yes, $1 million up top, but we're going to be competing with a couple thousand teams. Total points for 3 weeks. So, there's a little bit of money in the league playoffs. I think you can win like $3,000 or $2,500 for your league playoffs. But the big money is in that big tournament, and you really got to catch fire for those 3 weeks. But that's why we got all these bullets. Hopefully we'll have 8 or 9 teams. Actually, this team's our highest scoring one was 1621. I just spotted that. Let's take a peek at that. 1621. Achane, Pollard, Javonte, Justin Jefferson, Malik Neighbors, Brock Bowers, tight end premium. On the bench, T. Higgins, Drake London. So our starting lineup could be T. Higgins, Drake London, Jefferson, Neighbors, Bowers, Achane, who's been incredible, and either Javonte. Javonte's out. Keep Pollard in there. This team's a banger too. Burrow, oh my God, Burrow on the bench, QB2. So yeah, this team is stacked and racked and ready to win $1 million. Let me just actually go to the league real quick. I want to make sure that we're in the final. Yeah, oh yeah, we're the 1 seed. We're in. My God, we're still second scoring points in this league. That's crazy. 1621. Interesting. Okay. All right. Last thing too. So we're not done. FFWC. We got a couple great ones in this. This is the guy. So this FFWC is the one where we were in first place last year on the final day for $150,000. Jack was highly involved in that last year. Snake is highly involved in it this year. Glenn, Big Daddy Bowers. That's right. Big Daddy Bowers. All right. So we're going to go here. What do we want to do? My teams. All right. So, all right, let's start with the bad real quick. The 5K, the fantasy portfolio 5K. Team's terrible. I did this draft like Friday night. Like, everyone who went with me knows. Nate, Chris, Joel. It was a party. It was like a party at this place. The drinks were flowing. The party was insane. You guys will all see it next year. And then, oh, by the way, there's a 5K right after that. So we stumble into this room, and the team just didn't turn out very, very, very good. I don't know if there was an injury on this team or not. I guess I could pull up can I pull up the draft board? Let me see. Yeah, we can. Okay. So I picked 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I picked 8th. Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Devonta Smith, Amari Cooper start. Not terrible. Devonta Smith hasn't been great. Cooper busted, right? Because he went to the Bills. He got hurt, so he's been nothing, but could be something down this. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This team's dead. We're out of it. 5K gone. No shot. Javonte Williams, McConkey, Singletary, right? It doesn't look terrible. It just never had any. It just never got any traction, right? So, unfortunately, this team is dead. But that's the bad. That's the bad news. We'll talk about good stuff. All right. So you can see here position the places right here on the screen. Yeah, draft sober or get pulled over. I need more drafters next year, guys. Actually, this year it was fun because we had more guys drafting than we've ever have had before. Snake drafted with me. Fozzie drafted with me. Nate did some drafts. Sam did drafts live in Vegas. You guys want to draft? Come out to Vegas. We need more drafters. Draft sober get pulled over. I mean, that's no excuse because the entire draft was drinking too. So it was just like it just didn't go well. Sorry, hold on. Mike's texting me. 10 minutes. Sorry, guys. I got waivers to do tonight. I got guys texting me. Okay. So you can see here we are in 12th. This team's dead. 4th, 10th, 5th, 2nd, 3rd. So team 4 in, 5th place in, 2nd place in, 3rd place in as of today. So we have 3 out of our 3 out of our 6 teams are currently in. This 5th place team is probably right there too. Let's actually take a look at this. I don't want to roll through all these rosters because we've already kept you guys a half an hour. But so this team is 6. This is similar to the FFPC. This goes 2 more weeks. So the league playoffs and the overall championship playoffs run at the same exact time, weeks 14, 15, and 16. So we've got 2 more weeks in this before we get to that. How it works is the top 2 teams from the league go to the league playoffs. The top 4 teams in the league go to the overall playoffs for the $150K. So it's good news or bad news the way you look at it. If you're looking for like easier money, you want to make the league playoffs be a top 2 seed and also compete for the $150K. But if you want to just shoot for the prize, being in the top 4 is fine. I'd like to be in the top 2 and compete for both. So anyways, this team is 6-5. It's record points. Right now we are 1482. We're probably going to have to get in on records. We really don't have a lot of points, but our record's decent. So this team has some work to do with 2 weeks left. I want to show you guys this. Is it Portfolio 5? There was one team I wanted to show you guys. Yeah, this team's fun. So this team is in 2nd place, so we can compete for both currently. League, we are 2nd place. We are 1657. We are 2nd in points, tied for 2nd in record. Okay. And this team is really good. This team's fun. Brees Hall, Jahmyr Gibbs, Devin Achane. This team's going to compete for $150,000. It's going to compete for big time money. 3 stud backs. That's exciting. 3 quarterbacks to pick from week by week. And our receivers are fine. You have to start 3, but they're good enough just to hold on to get those 3 workhorses through. Brian Thomas, Jaden Reed, Cortland Sutton, Jameson Williams, Cedric Tillman. We'll figure it out. Big Daddy Bowers, George Kittle. I've been starting a lot in the flex. Yeah, I mean, this team's going to compete for $150K. I could tell I haven't set these lineups yet, but I'm super excited about this squad because as you can see, weapons everywhere. I'm going to start Kittle this week. Actually, I got to get a kicker. So, but yeah, so so we have teams. Snake's done a really good job. This team with Snake is in 4th. That's a nice team. One of our higher scoring teams. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of our 6 teams are competing, which is what you want. This is going well. Again, so people ask me, hey, how are we doing in fantasy? As you can see, as I run through it, we don't know how many teams make the playoffs, which leagues, like if we win the 3K, we're looking amazing. $20,000 already in our bank account. If we win, the 3K and 2 Kentuckys, we're basically even on the year, and then anything else is icing on the cake. So I don't really know yet how we're doing. I want to make a little bit of money now and then shoot for the big prizes at the end of the year. So we're right where we need to be. The 3Ks and 5Ks are really what I'm pushing. We're really what we're rooting for because that's like our base kind of money line to be able to get back to be able to just make our money back before we make it to the playoffs. That would be really, really cool. So, all right, guys. Chris. Thanks for joining. Thanks, guys, for watching. Any questions? You know how to hit me up. Where to hit me up. But we are going to push for this money. We're going to do it again next year. And more guys come, more guys can draft, and it'll be a fun time for us. So, and I'll probably do one of these again in maybe 2 weeks after we're done with the league playoffs. I'll be in the Discord posting stuff. So, all right, see you guys.